Welcome back to the Business Book Club.
Great to be diving in again.
Today, we're tackling the NVIDIA Way. It's a really fascinating book by Tae Kim.
Yeah, it gives you a look inside, well, one of the most impactful tech companies out there right now. Really influential.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to try and unpack, the core ideas, the leadership style, the big strategic moves that made NVIDIA what it is.
And see what insights, maybe what lessons we can pull out for ourselves.
Exactly. It's a company that just seems to keep going, doesn't it? They've had these near-death moments multiple times, apparently.
Oh, definitely. And yet here they are, this absolute powerhouse, especially, with everything happening in AI.
Right. And what really comes through is how much their success seems tied to their specific way of doing things, their culture.
And maybe more than anything, to Jensen Huang, the CEO.
Yeah.
His presence looms large.
Yeah, the book makes that clear right away. He's not just a CEO. He's like the architect of this whole NVIDIA way.
His philosophy, his background, it's all woven into the company fabric. They even call him Professor Jensen sometimes, right? With the whiteboard.
Oh, the whiteboard, yeah.
And that's more than just like a quirk. It seems symbolic of how they think, how they solve problems.
How so?
Well, it's about making thinking visible, active. You put ideas out there, they get debated really rigorously.
And if they don't stack up?
Erase them? Even brilliant ideas make room for better ones. It creates this transparency.
And shows who really gets it,
Yeah.
regardless of their title.
Exactly. Which ties into another concept the book emphasizes, this idea of immense will.
Right. Jensen's drive. That quote, if you want to do something extraordinary, it should not be easy.
Yeah, and even that story about him telling himself he sucks every morning.
Yeah, I read that. Not self-pity, but like a tactic against complacency.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the book traces this intensity back to his background, his experiences.
That time at the reform school, he thought was a prep school.
That's the one. It forced him, really young, to build resilience, character through, well, genuine adversity. He had to be tough.
So that difficulty became kind of foundational for him.
It seems so. He still talks about wishing people pain and suffering, not maliciously, but because he sees struggle as, like, the forge where greatness happens.
Even washing dishes at Denny's taught him something.
Efficiency under pressure, apparently. Taking pride in the task. Little things that add up.
Okay, so you have this founder shaped by difficult environments, learning efficiency.
Leading a company that then faces its own chaos and near collapse. It kind of fits, doesn't it?
It really does. And the book definitely details some pretty harrowing early years.
Oh, yeah. Those first chips, NV1, NV2, commercial flops.
What went wrong with NV1?
They tried pushing their own graphics standard, basically.
Right.
Misjudged the market, what developers actually needed. They needed compatibility, Like with Doom.
Ah, right. A classic mistake. Innovation disconnected from reality.
A brutal lesson. They almost went bust. Layoffs. Jensen was apparently quite frank about it later, saying they just did a bad job.
Wow. NVIDIA wasn't a great company from day one. That's pretty blunt.
Yeah. Imagine bouncing back from that.
How did they survive? That must have been incredibly tough.
Torturous, I bet. But that's where the immense will, learning from pain, maybe comes in. That period forged something.
So then came the RVA 128 chip.
Yes, and the book calls it a true bet the company moment. They were down to, $3 million, maybe 9 months of cash left.
Wow.
They had to completely ditch the proprietary stuff, embrace industry standards, and focus like a laser on one thing: speed. Just be the fastest graphics chip, period.
And that desperation led to the speed of light philosophy.
Exactly. It sounds dramatic, but it's about setting timelines based on the absolute minimum time needed, assuming nothing goes wrong.
Move so fast competitors can't react.
Right. They even started developing drivers before the chip existed, using simulation. Unheard of then, but it shaved off crucial time.
And the RVA 128 demo worked. It saved them.
Stunned the industry. Yeah, put them on the map. So the big takeaway there: learn brutally from failure. Embed that speed.
Okay, so failure, speed. What else defines this NVIDIA way and how they operate day to day?
A constant sense of urgency, almost existential. Even when they were successful, that mantra persisted. We are 30 days from going out of business.
Not literally, but psychologically powerful.
Right. Keeps everyone sharp, prevents complacency. Fear as a clarifying force, maybe.
Which probably contributed to a pretty intense work culture.
Oh, for sure. Long hours, high demands. They weren't afraid to let people go if they couldn't keep the pace or fit the culture. It's compared to Olympic training, relentless.
But even with all that, they hit another snag later, right? The NV30 chip, GeForce FX.
Yeah, a big one. The book calls it an architectural disaster.
What happened there? Complacency after the IVA success?
Possibly. Maybe communication broke down internally. The chip itself was flawed, hot, noisy, didn't perform well against competitors. Kind of an echo of the NV1 failure.
Ouch. How did Jensen react?
Furious, apparently. Publicly criticized the teams for crappy work. It wasn't just technical, it was seen as a cultural lapse.
So that failure forced them to double down on, what? Honesty, directness.
Brutal intellectual honesty, yeah. And direct communication.
Yeah.
No hiding problems.
Which brings us to Jensen's management style. Over 60 direct reports. That sounds unconventional.
Highly unconventional, but deliberate. The goal is a flatter structure, bypassing layers, making information flow faster.
Getting everyone closer to the critical info.
Exactly. Everyone knows what's going on is the idea. It empowers senior people directly, and it connects to those top 5 emails.
Ah, yes. The top 5 emails. Everyone emails him their top 5 priorities and observations every week.
That's the system. He apparently reads hundreds, looking for weak signals, potential issues bubbling up anywhere.
A direct line, cutting through any filtering.
Right. And his response style, super fast, expecting quick replies back, reinforces that urgency, keeps everyone on their toes.
And what about the public feedback? The torture of greatness thing.
Intense. Definitely. His view, as the book describes it, is that feedback is learning. If there's a mistake, the whole organization needs to learn, not just one person.
So delivering critique in group settings, it's tough for the individual, but maximizes organizational learning.
That seems to be the rationale. Shared accountability, accelerating collective knowledge, reinforcing those high standards.
Okay, so we've got immense will, learning from failure, speed, urgency, brutal honesty, direct communication. What about strategy? The book mentions ship the whole cow.
Ah, yeah, that's clever. It's about tackling the innovator's dilemma.
How does it work?
Instead of just tossing chips that don't meet the absolute top specs for their main products, they speed bin them.
Meaning?
They categorize them based on performance. The slightly slower but still perfectly good chips get repackaged and sold as lower cost options in different market segments.
Like a butcher using every part of the animal.
Exactly. Creates revenue from stuff they might otherwise waste and crucially lets them compete at all price points. Stops competitors getting a foothold at the low end.
Smart tactics. But the biggest strategic move has to be the whole AI pivot, right? CUDA.
Oh, absolutely pivotal. Their chief scientists, David Kirk and Jensen, saw early on that GPUs, their parallel processing power, could do way more than just graphics.
General purpose computing. Accelerated computing.
Right, speeding up complex stuff like scientific simulations, data analysis. The problem was, programming GPUs for that was super hard.
So they built CUD, a software platform to make it easier.
A massive risky bet. The first CUDA chip took, what, 4 years? $500 million?
And putting it in every chip actually hurt their profit margins for years.
A huge upfront cost, yeah. Deliberate hit to short-term profits. Wall Street wasn't thrilled.
But Jensen believed in accelerated computing as the future.
Deep conviction. It was a long game. Build the platform and, just as importantly, build the ecosystem around it. They poured resources into universities, teaching CUDA, building the future user base.
And then AI, deep learning, just exploded.
And NVIDIA's GPU architecture, refined over years, was almost perfectly suited for it. All that parallel math for neural networks.
The AlexNet moment in 2012 was key.
That was the breakthrough. Showed what deep learning on GPUs could do for image recognition. Jensen went all in immediately. Specialized software, new hardware features like tensor cores just for AI.
And then buying Mellanox that fit right into the AI strategy.
A masterstroke. Jensen saw that with bigger AI models needing thousands of GPUs, the network between them would be the bottleneck.
So Mellanox gave them the high-speed networking tech.
Exactly. It made NVIDIA not just a chip company, but a full-stack provider for AI data centers. Computing, software, connectivity, just as generative AI took off.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? This NVIDIA way. Willpower, urgency, honesty, huge long-term bets, ecosystem building.
And that deep technical understanding right at the top. Plus the structure around missions with clear owners, PICs, pilots in command.
Right, the PICs, focused teams cutting across silos.
Yeah, aligning resources to critical goals. And having Jensen, who could dive deep into the tech details, that's a real edge. allows faster, smarter strategic calls.
Okay, let's distill this. We've covered a lot from the NVIDIA way. For someone listening, maybe leaving a team, building something, what are the really actionable takeaways?
Okay, several big ones, I think. First, maybe cultivate that immense will. Don't avoid challenges. See them as essential for building character and resilience, like Jensen's background or NVIDIA's own near misses.
Embrace the struggle, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. Second, brutal intellectual honesty. Build a culture where problems surface fast, get debated openly, and you learn decisively from failure. Never make the same mistake twice. NV1, NV30 were harsh lessons there.
Face the truth quickly.
Exactly. Third, relentless speed and execution. That speed of light mindset, cut bureaucracy. The 30 days from going out of business idea, even psychologically, drives action. Fourth, make big, long-term strategic bets on foundational tech. Be courageous, even if it hits profits short-term or faces doubt. CEO is the ultimate example.
And build the world around your tech.
Yes, create that ecosystem. The CUDA developer community was vital. Fifth, maximize value. Ship the whole cow. Find ways to use everything you produce, compete everywhere, block disruption.
Technical depth and leadership.
Huge advantage in tech fields. Leads to better, faster decisions. And finally, transparency and direct communication. Flat structures, top 5 emails, whiteboard culture, ways to keep info flowing and decisions sharp. Oh, and hire great complementary people and empower them on missions, the PICs.
Those are really powerful points, drawn from a company that's truly shaped industries. But, it does leave one big question hanging, doesn't it?
Which is?
Well, given how much Jensen's personal drive, his background, his unique style seem to be the NVIDIA way, how dependent is any company's success, including NVIDIA's maybe, on its founder?
Can the way truly outlast the individual who forged it, especially when they're so intertwined?
That's the question. Can the culture, the method, live on?
That's always the ultimate test for these kinds of founder-led giants, isn't it?
Definitely something for you to think about as you digest the lessons of the NVIDIA way. We hope this deep dive gave you some valuable food for thought.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Always fascinating to unpack these stories.
Make sure you subscribe to the Business Book Club for more deep dives, just like this one. We'll catch you next time. Now, that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. Got a favorite business book you'd love us to explore? Let us know. We're always up for a good read. And hey, don't keep all these insights to yourself. Share this episode with a fellow book lover or your work buddy who's always looking to level up. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.